Okay, we're back. Thank you for joining me again. And we are in the process of heading toward, oh, I went the wrong way, heading towards Vengeance for the PvP tournament of the evening. And this is scheduled to go from 8 till 9:30. Unfortunately, none of the friends on my friends list are currently there. So I'm going to just be running a moment to get there. It should not take very long. Vengeance is not that far away. It is 8 o'clock, by the way, so we have been running this for 12 hours. We have another 12 to go. So still a long time, but we are half done. So if you are just tuning in, we still have a lot of prizes to give away. We have at 10 o'clock, we'll be giving away another shirt from Relics by Rild and a $10 add-on store credit. So those are both going to be available soon, and I should really pay attention to what I'm doing because I'm getting my butt kicked in this scene. Well, that did not go very well. Okay, well, I'll die here in a second, and then we'll start again. Nope, outran him. Okay. Wait for me to heal up just a second here. And while I do that, all right. If you're just tuning in now or rejoining us from earlier in the day, I do want to invite you to donate to me, support me in my effort to heal sick kids through Extra Life. Every dollar that you give goes directly to the Children's Miracle Network hospitals. The hospital that I am working with is the Dell Children's Medical Center down there in Austin. Not only is it an excellent facility in and of itself, but it's local to our friends in Portalarium. It's not actually much more than a stone's throw away from them where they work. And it is a Children's Miracle Network hospital, so it is not only dedicated to healing children, but it does not turn away any family regardless of their ability to pay. So if you do want to support them, please hop on. I will show you the banner here to extralife.org. There's a hyphen between Extra Life. Participant, Browncoat Jason. If you do need to go on and search for me, if you can't get there through this link, my name is Jason Kuhlmann, Kuhlmann. Otherwise, you can find me under Browncoat. And donate any amount, even $1 helps. but any amount that you donate does make you eligible for prizes that we're giving away every 2 hours. If you donate $25 or more, you are eligible for additional prizes that we will be giving away at the end of the day, including a $45 adventurer pledge to Shroud of the Avatar through Steam, and 4 Aether amplifiers supplied by Avatar's Radio. And then the very end of the session at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, we will be giving out 3 grand prizes. These are only eligible for people who pledge the most, so if you do want to get in on these 3 prizes, you will need to up your game a little bit, but there are 3 available. There is a handcrafted mug donated by Rild, one of very few ever created. It does bear the symbol of Lord British on it. Lord British himself has 2 of these, and only a couple others exist in the world. So if you want to join an exclusive club, get in on that early. Additionally, Joseph Drazen, Unseen Dragon, is making Lego minifigures, and he has offered to work with one of our winners to design their own minifigure. So you could create a minifig of your character, of your friends, of your favorite video game character of all time. Whatever you'd like to see. He will sit down and work with you, design it, choose what they're wearing, what they're carrying, and then he will build it to your specifications and send it to you. This is a pretty rare prize, and it's something he's done for several members of the community already, including several developers. So get on that early if you can. And then the last thing we have is by Indy Martin and XJ Billman. They are Tortoise and Hare Creations. They have a license to create comics for Shroud of the Avatar, and their first is New Beginnings. And they have agreed to supply not only a signed copy of this comic, but in addition, you will get a storyboard used to create one of the panels of the comic. So a very rare treat that you can get here. And if you're interested in anything like that, you'll definitely want to get in on that early. So the person who donates the most at the end of the event will get to first pick on which of these 3 they like. The second place will get to choose the 2 remaining, and third place will get whatever's left over. So these are all excellent prizes, so no one's going to be disappointed in them. However, if you do want your choice, you're going to need to get in the most money possible. Right now we have a $125 bid for one of these. The next up is a $100 bid, and below that is $50. So if you want to get in on any one of these 3, you need to bid above $50, and if you want to get one of your choice, you're going to want to shoot it above $125 for a donation. So please get those in, and we will draw those at the end of the day. Alright, we are at the exit here, so I want to make sure we can get in and see Vengeance. Now, just like in the Shardfall earlier, Vengeance is a PvP town, so when we step inside, we will be open to being attacked in PvP. Generally, that's something that they're looking forward to. However, I'm going to hope we can get through without too much death and destruction. And I'll show off a couple of the tournaments that are going on. People are generally pretty good about leaving spectators alone, but you never can be sure. And being a brand new character, I'm probably not going to survive long if someone does decide that they want to take a hack at me. looks like I'm the only one here, so obviously I am in the wrong instance again. And I don't see anybody that has signed in yet. Let me jump over and see if there's anybody hanging out here. Nope, it does not look like anyone's in that list, so. Well, the Magic Sweeper does go till 9, so we could always go back there. However, I'm gonna see if there is anyone. Well, let's see if we can find anybody in the town. This might actually be taking place in one of the arenas, so we'll see if that works. Yeah, it says that his name is still the same, so. Okay, well, yep, it looks like we're all split into a separate instance, so if anybody knows anybody at Vengeance right now, please let me know so that we can get there. I'd like to... Let me check on the website and see if I go out to the Vengeance Guild site. Alright, well, I'm going to see if any of these guys, if I can add them to my friends list. Says he's not online. Minerva is, but I believe they were just back there playing with Kazan. Delaney on. Nope, doesn't even exist right now. Alright. And do we have a event post? No. Alright, well, while we're here, this is the desert biome available for player-owned towns. So, as you can see, it's pretty sparse, but there are some pretty cool elements to it here. A lot of the stacked hills and the cliff that aren't really found anywhere else. Some nice washed valleys. And then if you actually get up to the top of the cliff there, the individual towers where larger keeps, like the Lord of the Manor keep and the dukes, can place their houses. They actually have a ruined wall around them, which is different than the standard wall that's available in some of the other areas. I believe that was made specifically for Vengeance, but it should be available to anyone who who purchases a town now. And I was pretty sure there was an exit up here somewhere, so there we go. Alright. Well, let's try one more time, see if we can zone in and see anyone in here. Otherwise, we are going to head back in to do something else until 9:30, when we're going to go out and meet Winfield and go fishing. So that should be good. We do still need to stop by a town that has all of the training skills. Owl's Head allows you to train that right now. But in the future, if you don't have a skill available, it is something you're going to need to seek out specific training for. Not every trainer will have every skill. Right now we generally have one of two. Yeah, I'm still the only one here. So one of two types. There are trainers that have everything, and there's trainers that only have the first two ranks of everything. And excluding some new skills, they just never were added to those trainers. And fishing was just included in a couple of releases back. So right now we'll head out to Owl's Head, get that training done, and then come back, and we should be able to participate in any of the other things that might be going on. If you do find out anything else that we might want to attend tonight, don't hesitate to let me know. You can send me a message on Facebook, send me a private message on the Shroud of the Avatar forums, or you can jump on Google Plus and send me a message and I will receive it there. Unfortunately, I don't have my chat window open for Twitch or the Shroud of the Avatar chat, just because it is far too hectic to keep track of. Just to let you know the difference right now, I started off today with 3 email messages and I now have 112. So that's how crazy today has been. I usually don't get more than 3 or 4 a day. But I do want to make sure that you guys are up to date on everything. So if again, if you're watching, I do want to let you know you can follow me on Twitter. You can also follow Extra Life on Twitter, or the Children's Miracle Network Hospitals. If you are on Facebook, you can join the Ultimate Dragons Facebook page or the Shroud of the Avatar page. If you don't know who the Ultimate Dragons are, I'm sorry. You should definitely know who they are by now. The Ultimate Dragons are the ultimate fan group for the original Ultima games and Ultima Online. So it is well worth your time to get involved with them if you have not. If you've ever played an Ultima and enjoyed it, you're welcome to join. To join, all you need to do is go out to udic.org, and then you can join, pick an official dragon name, and then come onto the Facebook page and join our roster. On UDIC, I am known as Automata Dragon, which I thought would be a cool image after after Serpent Isle. What if a insane order wizard put a dragon into the body of an automata? Which, if I ever get the funds to have Indy draw me a profile picture, that is what I'm going to have her do. Is a Ultima style manual image of a dragon made of metal, just like those automations in Serpent Isle. If you haven't seen the artwork for Dark Unknown, you should really go check it out. It's on Facebook. I posted most of them onto Pinterest, but I know I've missed a couple. But Indy is doing a lot of the monster art for that, and it is very reminiscent of Dennis of the Bay's art with his fine line style, so go check it out. Okay. And the last thing on that was to note, if you are not following David Watson right now, the Real Life YOLO, please go out and do so. Even if you don't have Twitter, it's well worth signing up for. He is a hoot to chat with, and he's also YOLO. He makes crossbows, he sings songs, and if we can get him to 500 followers, he will be joining Shroud of the Avatar yet again. His first song, Corellia's song, is the song you hear when you first start up the game. But if we get him to 500, Richard will commission another song from him. And if you check out my YouTube page, youtube.com/browncoatjason, in addition to having all of the videos for tonight up there, you will also find a couple of versions of the upload of YOLO actually singing some potential songs for Shroud of the Avatar. There is a traveling song that he made, and another which I believe is a march that he's working on. So two very cool songs that may make it into the game if you go and follow him on Twitter. So what are you waiting for? Go do it. Alright, so we're heading back to the Hidden Vale, and we'll arrive right outside of Kingsport like we did earlier in the day. The Hidden Vale, unlike the rest of Novia, does not look kindly upon the Oracle, so they have kind of removed themselves and chose to pursue their own agendas without her judgment. You can see there is a Oracle Conservatory in Kingsport. That's the first inland headway she's made into this land. Before that, she was known here, but they kind of booted her out. So, not so welcome anymore. If you travel that direction towards the coast, there is a random encounter you can run into that will contain a dragon that will very quickly tear you a new one. So we can definitely check that out later. I'll be trying to do that sometime during the night. And you can see Owl's Head is built underneath an active volcano, which is probably not the smartest thing. However, That volcano is easy to find anywhere on the island, so you can always find your way back to town. Owl's Head was, because it was the first town placed in the game, it is very popular. It has a tavern named after Fire Lotus, who is our community manager, community relations, and support. So if you ever get a firm talking to on the forums, that is Fire Lotus. But she also handles all of your requests for support or community interaction. So she's an awesome person, and she just has to deal with a lot of weird people on the forums. So be nice to her. But her tavern exists here in town, and Thomas Strongarm is the bartender. Strongbeard. So we will go talk to him shortly as well. It's not too far from the skills trainer. So let's head in and we will learn how to fish so we can actually do some fishing with Winfield, and then we'll explore the town a little bit and I'll show you some of the sights. Alright, so as we come in on the path, you can see there's the electrical fence that is protecting the town, and that goes in conjunction with the moon tower over there. Right here there is a circle of standing stones surrounding a lunar rift, and that lunar rift can take you to various places in the world. Right now it's set to Solus Bridge, so you can definitely go in there and check that out. And as we get closer to this bridge, you'll notice that there's a guard standing out in front. If we chat with him, I believe this is Michael. Nicholas. Okay, there used to be a guard, Michael, who stood here and challenged you every time you came into the city. So you had to answer his question or the townfolk would not approve of you. Mojito stands here. Mojito is named after Chris Spears' dog, who is also a greyhound. And Chris is the lead design manager, so it's always good to talk to him. The very first building you see as we come inside the main city is the College of Arms. And the College of Arms is actually a community group that if you have a pledge of a high enough level as a founder, you get to register your own coat of arms. So mine is actually a phoenix in blue on a field that is split by a black wedge and has 3 stars overhead in the Trinity colors for Shroud of the Avatar of red, yellow, and blue. The registrar will allow you to form a guild. There's a banker here if you need him. And this is a good meeting place to talk to some of the College of Arms guys when they're available. Right over here you can see Lazarus Long is hanging out, and I'm going to give him a wave. He was on earlier with us when we were playing through, and he's going to join us later as well to go back to Hometown. So we are going to come in here and learn the basics of fishing. And then we're going to drop that skill down here so we can actually use it. And we'll get rid of that one because we won't ever use it. let's see, right inside this door are the crafting merchants. You can come in here and learn some new recipes. All right. There's a market here in the middle of town. There's a alchemist and mageware, and there is an empty building over here, which I assume is going to be used at some point as a bookstore or some such. At the end of the lane, there is a crafting station. There's a public vendor here if you need one, and you can talk to the crafting trainer to learn how to do some initial crafting. He'll actually give you a recipe and a few pieces of wood to learn on, and the crafting goods vendor there sells some things that are not quite available in-game yet. Alright, right here is Fire Lotus's Tavern. You can see her sign hanging from the top there. And inside, the bartender sells assorted types of wine and beer, and it's Thomas Strongbeard. As soon as you use a vendor, you learn their name, so this is always a good place to come and have a pint. And now if we travel up the road, I actually passed the Moon Tower, but we'll come back to that. Once you pass this large gate, you're in the inner city, and the first thing to your right is a door leading to the Clink. And the Clink is a debtor's prison that you can visit as part of a quest line. There's some prisoners who occasionally revolt, and you have to take them to task for it. But there's also a prisoner who's been sentenced to a fate that you may not want to contemplate, and you can go down and talk to him on behalf of his sister. In this main merchant square, there's a blacksmith here, and an inn in the corner. Over here is a bookstore, and if you go inside, you can actually purchase books and maps. So you can buy blank books or sheets of paper if you want to write your own notes. You can also buy, there's a number of different books available that you can invest in. And then each of the types of player town has a map. So there's a desert, forest, swamp, snowy plain, and island template you can see right here. We can buy each of those, and then if we went back to Vengeance, for example, and opened up the map of a desert town, we'd be able to find our way around a little easier. And then each of the main locations in the game that have been mapped have a map available here as well. You'll notice there's a couple books that are fairly cheap. Those are actually bits of the Blade of the Avatar book by Tracy Hickman and Richard Garriott. So you could read a couple chapters of those if you want to before it is published, if you didn't happen to get it as part of your pledge reward. And then there's some other books that have been released. A lot of these, the Grimm Sisters and the Valor book, things like that, actually came through as community books that were written and then published as part of the Scholars of Novia. Some of the others, like the Through the Rift books, Through the Lunar Rift is actually written by Fire Lotus, and it was posted to the forum and then copied into the game here. And then others like the Library Fragments and Cave Fables were done as early works. Hearts of New Britannia is actually a work that was done as part of the Poets Circle, and then it was awarded to the winners, who actually got to read their poems to the people that they were written to. So Richard Garriott and Starr and Chris and Stephen Denali, who was the lead concept artist for Shroud of the Avatar. And looks like they also have wax cylinders in stock now. I haven't actually tried wax cylinders at all, but Death is the song that plays when you become a ghost. That was written by Shooter Jennings. And Carolia's song was the one that we heard at the beginning when the game started up, and that's written by David Watson, YOLO. So while we're here, I'll go ahead and purchase one of each of those so we can play them when I find a place to put my house. There's a butcher, fishmonger, and I believe a baker and farmer over here. There is the bank, so you can go in there and add things to your bank or take them out if you need. And then the realtor is upstairs. As I mentioned, that's fairly consistent in most towns. So there's some decorations, a guild registrar, and then at the top is the deed vendors, where you can actually purchase various different kinds of houses. Next door is an inn, and then over here is the barracks. So if you ever need to find Lord Enmar for questing, you can come in here and go upstairs. And then you can see the Moon Tower from here. So the Moon Tower does a couple of things. One is it's a protective shield. So any town that has a Moon Tower is less likely to be attacked by NPCs. Towns will occasionally come under siege as part of the storyline. You can see here are a couple of the airships as homes, and you can get on there and explore those if the players have them opened up for us. Let's see. I'm not sure why that guard says that here, because the clink is on the other side, the other gatehouse. So I think he may be on the wrong side of the town. But we'll come out here and we'll actually run over and see the Moon House, or Moon Tower, and talk to the person who's in charge of maintaining it, who is standing right here. So he's a man of science, so he is a little more familiar with the technical details of things. His name is Betham. He maintains the electrical guard tower in Owl's Head. Depending on where you're at, it will either be called a Moon Tower, a Tesla Tower, or a guard tower. So it actually says Moon Tower now. Last release that I checked it still said Tesla Tower. So that's a good change to see. But that is pretty much it inside of Owl's Head. So let's go see what's up with Laz this evening. Alright, it is 8:50. So we don't have anything to do for another half hour. When we join Winfield for fishing, let's see if he is on yet. Yep, he is. So we can zone over to him whenever we're ready. I'm not sure where he's going to have us going to meet at, but that is definitely something that we can get into. So if it seems like I'm running slower, it's actually because I am. I'm actually running about 10% slower than I should be because of how many things I'm carrying. And most likely I'm betting those are my arrows. Yeah, it looks like that's all I'm carrying that's actually got any weight to it. So to make it easy, let's go and use some of those up. And then we can go fishing here in a bit. Alright. I got an email from Extra Life, but it looks like it's the same one that I got when Amber donated. So unless somebody else dropped $125, I think we're just getting duplicates. But I should probably verify that. I would love if we got another $125 donation to help the children today. Nope, Amber's the last one that pledged to support us. So, let's go into Kings Road, and we will go try to kill something. Been at this 13 hours and some change now, so caffeine is pretty good at this point. And it's pretty dark. So, if I was thinking, I would have, instead of bringing along my Lord British cloak, I would have brought along my Knight's cloak, because it has a built-in light source. One nice thing about going out at night is that you can see enemies' health lines really easy. spiders. So many spiders. They are small and annoying, and they gang up a lot. But I think I can outrun them, so. Alright. Let's see if we can find a skeleton. They're more fun to take on. Ooh, a bear would work too. And eventually we're going to have to train up some additional skills, because a lot of these are not going to translate well in the future. Right now, the only skills that do a lot of noticeable damage are going to be my aimed shot and my standard attack. So those are always good ones to start with. But after so long, you're really going to want to upgrade. The things that I usually look for are, like I was mentioning earlier when we talked about skills, is the earth skills. So you can get in and get a obsidian arrow, which is pretty good. And then you can also get a the innates once you're able to get that. So those are good skills for soloing. The other things I usually look for are fire arrow, because it does create fire damage, or ice arrow, because it will slow down the enemy slightly. And kiting in the dark is a lot less fun than kiting during the day. And kiting during the day is horrible, so let's not do that anymore. Notice a lot of times I will miss using these skills, even though they are fairly well advanced. The problem is they are, while they're advanced, they are not as worthwhile using as some of the other skills you might have. I wasn't watching my life, so that happens. We'll need to run and find the Ankh, which is kind of buried here. Let's see what else we can find in here. Looks like Skydo is doing some of the same things we are. But I'm not going to worry about him and his spiders. I will try to go back and look for that. A wolf is a good one to go after. If I can tell where it is. There it is. Except I'm going to get a spider instead. So range combat is going up, which means I'm going to do a little bit more damage with my bow, which is good. You notice if we actually take a look at that skill, that it says I am doing currently negative 2.5% damage with a skill of 38. What that actually means is that until skill level 30, or skill level 40, sorry, all of your damage is reduced on what your skill actually says. So my current bow is this elven bow, and its range is 6 to 18. So every time I do a successful attack, rather than getting that specific range, it's actually rolling that specific range and then reducing it by 2.5%. When you begin, your skills are actually fairly low. You're not going to do barely any damage regardless of what weapon you're using. Until you get that skill up into the 40 range, you're actually not getting the full benefits of that weapon. And then once you're advanced beyond that significantly, then you will do additional damage on top of what that weapon will mark you for. So the elven bow is actually a stretch goal item as well. One of the stretch goals for episode 1 is the ability to play as an elf. I think that was a pet project of Amber Rains as well. Richard Garriott's original vision was that all players would be playing themselves entering Britannia, and you just kind of get jostled into a new body when you pass through the Lunar Rift. He's compromised a little bit on that by allowing you to choose up to 3 different bodies that you'll be inhabiting, because every player can potentially have 3 character slots depending on which pledge level you support, and if they add those to the add-on store at some point. But regardless, those are a little different than what was originally planned, when you would just be 1 character per account. But the ability to play elves is tied to the completion of that stretch goal. I don't know that that's ever going to come into the game unless that stretch goal is met. The other stretch goals are early release type items, so that if they are not met now, they will eventually come in as part of one of the additional releases. So if you want a pack animal, or a horse mount, or a workable boat system that you can control the boat on its path, those are all things that will come eventually. But to get them into episode 1, which is going to be releasing soon, probably early next year, That's not going to happen unless we fund a stretch goal, which is enough to hire a new developer to work on that specifically. So, and there are definitely things that it would be fun to have in episode 1. I think we should probably have, if not for episode 1, then soon after, is mounts. As you can tell on the overworld map, it can be time consuming to travel, especially if you're going a long distance. So having a mount would significantly reduce that amount of time you have to spend on the map, when essentially it's only useful for getting to another location. One thing that happens on the Overland maps is that you can encounter something and get pulled into a scene. So there's a few in place right now. There is a scene where you're going to encounter a wandering merchant. There's a scene where you encounter skeletons off the side of the road. And there's a scene where you encounter guard dogs and a herd of cows or sheep or something like that. And then here on the Hidden Vale, there's also a couple of encounters. I can't recall what the first one was, but it's along the road. And then if we head over towards the coastal area, there is a encounter of the dragon. So you can definitely see the big bad things by walking around right now. There's actually a few what we call mini bosses that have been implemented so far. The first one is an ogre, or a troll, sorry, and he is guarding the bridge in Obsidian Keep, which isn't too far from here. He's very difficult to take on without a full group of people supporting you. There's only a couple of people that have been able to do that single-handedly. The next one is a phoenix, who is in one of the desert areas. And if you go in and look for him on top of the plateaus, he will clean your clock pretty easily. I don't think I actually saw him coming the first time I got killed by him. So that's how effective he is. And we actually have the dragon, which is available, and then in, I guess the first one that was ever available is the Lich King in Raven's End, so we could head down and see him too. He's not nearly as powerful as the others, although he can definitely take us on at the low level that we are right now. Except for some of these random encounter type of things, we're probably not going to survive head-to-head against much of anything. There's a bear we can probably take. Alright. Aim shot's still going up, so it's up to 23. That's the best skill we have to use at the moment. Alright. As I said, those red trees are the ones that are harvestable. And as you get close, if you have a skill to detect them, you'll actually see there are little green dots coming off of that tree, um, depending on your harvesting skill. And then over here, there's most likely going to be a harvestable node for iron or copper. Those tend to be the most common. Let's see if there is any here. Yep, there's one right there for iron. It's kind of hard to tell, depending on what direction you're looking, whether or not it is in place. Copper stands out a little bit more in the shade, but again, not a lot. You can tell cotton from a distance if it's harvestable because there'll be white on it, otherwise it'll just be a green tree, bush. But most of the others do stand out a little bit more. And I suppose that makes sense because metal is one of the most desirable items here, so that you can craft weapons and armor of your own. Alright, here's some skeletons that we might be able to have a go at. You can tell where there's skeletons, Nightshade is usually not too far away, so it's a good place to harvest that. I'm not sure how I escaped from them, but apparently I did. Unfortunately, as with most MMO combat, it's not the most exciting thing to watch. So if you are getting bored with the stream, I completely understand that. There should be more fun events to watch coming up soon. But I do want to try to get some skill ups, just so you guys can see how advancement works in the game. And I'm getting pretty overweight by picking up all this stuff, but I think we'll be able to have time to drop it off before we need to go meet Winfield. Winfield is the governor of Paxslayer, so one of the first and largest player-run towns. He started Paxslayer over in Ultima Online and has kept it running for many, many years. So having them come over to Shroud was a pretty good feeling for the team and for the game. Paxslayer is huge. I get lost really easily when I go there, but it is a beautiful place to visit, and it is one of the main templates that's used for other towns in the game, just because we haven't had a lot of the other ones created yet. So Pax kind of serves as that initial place. so it's still only about 9:15, so we've got some time yet. Take a couple more enemies, and then we will start moving on. So we will, let's see what we want to do next. Well, we looked at Owl's Head. We're going to go to Kingsport after we go fishing. So why don't we go to Braemar, and I'll show you around there. Braemar is a very small town, but it is kind of significant in the story because it is on the way to Raven's End. So, and that is, I think, part of the culmination of the Hidden Vale storyline, from what I can tell. You find in Owl's Head, you'll be told to look for some bandits, and the bandits are actually holed up not too far from Owl's Head itself, in a, I actually head that direction, in a cave off to the side here. You can see that right there. And once you get in there, you discover that the Red Sash Bandits, as they're called, are being led by a self-proclaimed obsidian sorcerer, a necromancer. And you start working with some folks in an organization that one of the prisoners in the Owl's Wash there will tell you about. And they lead you down to Braemar. And Braemar is the entry point for that next quest, which takes you down to Raven's End. So, and you can actually see Raven's End down there at the end of the path. It's not hidden or anything yet, so that will be up and coming. I believe a lot of these points of interest that have banners and things showing will only appear on your discovery map once you've reached a certain point in the quest. That just hasn't been implemented up to this time yet. There's a lot of iterative development going on in Shroud because it is in pre-alpha. There's not a full storyline in place. There's not all of the systems in place even, so we can't even call it a true alpha test. But it is very early on, so being able to have this much fun in the game without any of those things present is a huge accomplishment for the team. Alright, so Braemar, when you come in here, you'll notice that there's not a lot of stuff going on. There's a few maps here that will show you where things are located at. We can head down that way towards the Grove. There's a lot of player-owned housing here. And then we can go straight down here into the main path of town. Excuse me. Early on in the game, Braemar was actually the first place you came before Soultown was created. So the tour guide used to stand right here, and you could discuss the monthly rewards with him. But now he's moved, and there's a lot fewer people here in town to do things for. But again, skill trainers, there's a merchant, there's a couple of buildings here that have different things available. So that's an inn. And then one of the main quest guys for this area is Bowden, who's behind one of these buildings. I'm not going to look for him right now. But there's not a lot else in Braemar. It does have a graveyard that you can visit. So there's the town crier. And if I can recall which direction. Can't. I think it's actually this turn up here that will get us out to the graveyard and the compendium. So there's a few things you can do in Braemar, but there's not a lot. Mostly this is just a stopover to get your quests and continue on. But because it was a starting point for so many people for so many releases, it's still pretty popular as a home. And almost every city has at least some player housing available. If you play in an offline mode, those houses will already be placed and work pretty much like an NPC house. However, you can buy your own homes in offline mode as well, if you want to have something to decorate and enjoy. And then you'll continue down the path here. And there's Ravensmoor. So, when you enter here, it's actually a overland map, and you have to fight your way down to the entrance to the dungeon, which is not overly difficult, but I'm not going to go there right now. Over here is where the dragon is. Surprise, surprise. The Worm Sands and Winton's Folly are places that we've had to visit in the past to go on the tour. So definitely fun places to go now. There's a player village here, a lighthouse, which I think is going to be a point of interest at some point. And you can run along and have some fun in the Hidden Vale, just as much as we can anywhere else. Okay. Raven's End is actually a town. I had the names flopped in my head for some reason, but there's lots of things you can do here in the Hidden Vale. Right. You'll notice as we get close here, there's the player town of Chaos Crossroads. They are a major PvP group as well. There's Ember. Say hi to her, and then we'll go in through Kingsport. I'm not actually going to enter Kingsport at this point because we'll be taking that. I'll lead you through there before we go to the Dragon's Meet. But the next thing we're going to do is head over. We got about 4 minutes before we need to meet Winfield. I'm going to show you a few of the other things in this area. You can see there's a player-owned town there, just like in Hometown. If you double-click on that, you'll be able to zone over. There's another one down there, and there's a few items, or a few other towns you can get to. This is actually fairly well populated for as small of an area as it is, so lots of things to do. Let's go ahead and zone to Winfield, and we will see where we are going to go for fishing today. While we're zoning, if you are watching today and you are interested in supporting my efforts to help sick kids, please visit the extralife.org site and find my participant information. Click on the Support Me banner and then enter your payment information. All payments that you send in go directly to support sick kids in the community. I'm playing for the Dell Children's Medical Center in Austin, Texas. So please, anything you can spare will go to help kids and their families who might not be able to support to pay for their own medicine. We want to keep those hospitals available for them, so you can definitely do that. Additionally, if you support me by making any amount of a donation, I am going to be giving out items every couple of hours. And we are going to have the next drawing here in about a half hour. But in the meantime, we're meeting up with, there's Winfield, there's Style, and some other folks who are going to join us for fishing. So to do some fishing, what we need to do is have that skill on our toolbar. We need to equip a fishing rod, and we need to have some worms available. And we have 25 of them right now. We can always go buy more if we need to. But once we have that available, you just hit the 0 key. You get a targeting ring that you can choose where you want to fish at. And you can see this is one of those nice new water areas, so it's very clear. And then where you decide to fish, you cast your line. They've added the line in this release, so that is a good thing to see. And it shows you your percentage chance of catching something. You don't just have fish available. You can also catch trinkets, broken items. There's a ring that's only available by fishing it up. So there's a number of different things you can do that you can't get anything else here. So and depending on where you fish, as you can see, you have a different percentage chance. The more you fish in a single area, the lower chance you have of catching something there. So it's very easy to overfish an area, but we want to make sure that that is something that we can play with. Adjust your chances and cast in different areas. But it is a lot of fun to just sit here and do some fishing. It's surprisingly addictive since it's just click a key and choose where you want to go, but it is more fun than you would think. one thing you'll note in that crafting tree, this was formerly just a single glyph for fishing. Now it's two. They've added a bait recovery, so that once you've become slightly skilled at fishing, get up to a skill of 10, you can start using less bait. Because right now, every time you cast, you lose your bait. So you can eat through those 2 gold worms pretty quickly. I'm assuming the agriculture skills will allow you to catch your own worms as you pull them up from the soil, so you don't have to buy them always. Right now they are only available on fishmongers. And I'm so sorry I still had that banner up. So we are sitting in Hometown with Winfield, Gabriel Nightshadow, Style Teckles down at the end, Eternal Knights, a bunch of other people over on the other dock, and we are fishing. So if you didn't see, of course you didn't because I had that thing in the way, I put my fishing rod in my hand. I made sure that I have the skill on my toolbar, and I have some worms in my inventory. So the skills are fishing and bait recovery. Once I'm skilled enough, we can go learn that, and then every time you cast, you're not going to end up using every single worm. Right now it's a 1-to-1. And you can see the chance going down every time I fish. You have a decreased chance every time you cast into the same area, so I'm not hitting that nearly as often as I should. But I can move around a bit if I want to try to improve that. Most likely with this many people in place, it's going to take a while for it to restock. But you can come down here and fish off the end of the dock too, and maybe get a little better range. So that's closer to 50%. That's more where I like it. I don't really see chances higher than that very often. So, and this time I caught a broken leather helm. So I could repair that and have a fairly decent item if I didn't have another hat. But since it's broken, it really doesn't do anything for me right now. Right now, the main pricing concerns for the game that a lot of people have are arrows and worms. Oh, there we go, 56%. That is a good chance on fishing. I just caught some broken cloth sandals. So again, not a usable item at this point, but it is better than nothing. Let's see. Style was just asking me about the events. I'm going to tell him that they've all been good. So, sounds like there's some fireworks going on outside. Alright, well, let's see what else we can fish. That's okay. Bambino said that the PvP tournament we were going to look for was not very PvP, so we didn't miss out on a whole lot. And I'm willing to accept that as a price for no show. I've had a lot of issues with people either getting dropped from the stream or able to log in and it not doing anything but spinning on Twitch. So I don't know if that is my connection. I'm not getting kicked out of the game anymore like I was, but it's still entirely possible that that's what's happening. The other thing it could be is that Twitch is just overwhelmed from the number of people that are involved in Extra Life this year. I would love to believe that. So let's go with that. We are going to do as much as we can to support Extra Life, and if you guys are going to continue to send in donations, we can continue to accept them. So if you guys are interested in maybe having me extend the big three, we can wait on awarding those for, say, another until I wake up, whenever that will be on Sunday. another 12 hours or so that we can get some more donations in after these are all uploaded. I don't know if you guys are interested in that, or if we want to continue to go ahead and award those at 8 a.m. tomorrow. So if you are interested in trying to get everything going and you want to try to win one of those 3 big prizes, please make a donation now. So running kind of low on bait, but we'll see where that goes. So, as I said before, the grand prizes available are the mug from Rild with the Lord British insignia, one of probably a half dozen that exist. The other is a comic book signed by the authors, along with one of the storyboards used to create them. So that's a rare prize that you can get. And the other is a custom Lego minifigure. So if you are interested in any of those 3, you're going to want to aim high with your donation. Right now we have a $125 pledge or support, a $100 donation, and a $50 donation as the 3 highest. So just to get on the board, you're going to need to go over 50 to make sure you have your choice. You want to aim over $125. So you can definitely get that by going out to Extra Life and finding me. My name is Jason Kuhlmann, Kuhlmann, or you can find me using the participant /browncoat Jason address that was on that scorecard, and you can click the support me link, make a donation, and I will get you on the list for prizes. And I am still hoping that we will have a chance. Let's see, it's about 9:45. So we're going to do fishing for until 10:30, and then we will head back to the Hidden Vale. I'll show you guys what Kingsport looks like, and then we're going to have a 2-hour Dragon's Meet at the Hearth of Britannia, and meet up with Rustic Dragon. He should be back by then. In the meantime, we do have a little bit more bait, so I'll continue fishing, and when I'm done I'll just sit down and shoot the breeze with these guys, because these are all pretty nice folk. Alright, well, I got some broken stuff. Wasn't anything I really needed, but it's always fun. I wonder what is going on out there. We must have done something good. Let's see. Wow. The Nebraska Huskers actually won a game that we thought they would get slaughtered on. So that would explain the fireworks going off. Alright. Yeah, there's a lot of good things that are going to be coming with fishing in the future. Not just rare fish, of course, but uh, the ability to actually see some different things show up. I know in Ultima Online you could fish up a kraken, or otherwise find some maps to buried treasure. Hopefully that's going to be coming in the future. Bottles with notes and rare treats. There's going to be some not just broken items, but actually a ring. And necklaces and things like that. And eventually you'll actually be able to find good items in the water. But any of the fish that you catch now, you can turn into a trophy. So if you want to hang a fish on your wall, you can definitely do that. If you are more interested in the communication side of fishing, we can definitely do that as well. But alright, it's actually 10 till 10. I am going to do a drawing here in just a moment. Let's see, at 10 o'clock we are going to do a new t-shirt from Relics by Rild and a $10 store credit. So let's take a look at those. And Let's go ahead and random those off. Alright, so this is 10 p.m. And the first item is a shirt by Relics by Rild. You can go on there and choose any of the shirt styles that he has. He has the Shroud of the Avatar shirt in 3 different colors. He has the Oracle shirt in 2 different colors, and a nice shirt that donates part of its income to water.org, which is an excellent organization. So if you are interested in any of these shirts, you should definitely check out relicsbyrild.com, official licensed merchandise for Shroud of the Avatar. But this shirt is going to go to... verifying we didn't get any last second donations. Alright. And this shirt is going to Seth Gupton, our very own Feniax. So he is going to be a proud recipient of a Relics by Rild t-shirt. Alright, and the next one we have is $10 store credit. This was donated to us by Kaizen Phoenix Fire, so many thanks go out to him for his donations. And let's random this one up as well. Alright, and that goes to... no, I need to reorganize these real quick, sorry. Number. There we go, that goes to Santa Claus, Peter Boyko, who's an excellent musician in part of the community, both for Shroud of the Avatar and for Ultima Underworld, which is a sister product here. So congratulations, you have $10 in store credit to use as you see fit. And I'm going to show you a quick commercial break before we get started on the next half hour of fishing, and then we move right over into Kingsport. So thank you for tuning in, and I will be right back after the video.
Since the day when I took her from the hospital, she never stopped crying. I had to sleep her on my arms every single night. Then when I put on the crib, she started crying, so I had to hold it. I do the same thing every day, every night, for 40 days. So the pediatric came and she said, you know what? I asked her, what's going on? What's going on? Tell me what's going on, because she speaks Spanish, so I can ask her. And she says, something wrong with your baby, but don't worry. So she sent me to the children's hospital. They had to do x-rays on the bone. So when they do the x-rays, that's when the big mess starts. The whole left side is broken. All the ribs broken. All the arm broken. When she showed me the x-rays and I saw the bone like that, she said, when you change the diapers and you pull in, they broke him. I feel so bad. I completely broke her leg every single day. Every single day.
The bone has something in it called collagen. Collagen is the rebar, which is what goes into cement to make it strong. The bone produces calcium, but it's just brittle. It just doesn't have a normal strength to it. A careful mom unbuckling them, taking them out of their car seat, getting them in and out of the bathtub. Routine daily activity will sometimes break their bones.
She always has to wear those braces.
The nature of her legs are not strong enough to support full-time activity. Kids with mild osteogenesis imperfecta who get, say, 15 fractures, we fix them all and they're pretty normal as adults. She's had so many broken bones and she has so much deformity accumulated over the years that no, she's never going to be a normal walker.
I was about 6 years old and we were going to church. Called my dad I remember telling him, "Hey, Daddy, I can stand up now." And I was walking, and I slipped in the water. I broke my leg, and I was crying so bad that I wish that I had died when I was born.
When you're taking care of kids, what is critically important is that you remember and focus on their heart, because that requires just as much healing as any other part of their body.
Our services here with our specialists, our pediatric surgeons, orthopedic surgeons, they have made her life as successful as it is because they've been able to provide specialty operations and surgeries and such that have given her the ability to grow as normal as she can, to make her bones a little stronger on the inside.
Taking care of special kids like her that's our thing. The whole team here, from our therapists to our nurses to the people who check Milka in when she comes in the morning, that's why we're here.
If she didn't have Children's Hospital here, she would really, her family would probably have to move to Los Angeles or, Sacramento or the Bay Area just to get care.
When I saw in the water, it's the safety place she got.
I feel like I can walk because I stand on the water and I can stand and not fall.
I not worry about in the water. When she was in the water, "Mommy, I'm here." Everybody says, "It looks like a mermaid." I'm a mermaid.
It's an unfortunate disease that she has. However, I think that certainly has defined Milka in that it's made her a very, very strong girl.
She's just battled through everything and done everything anybody could ever ask of her.
For her and the things that Children's Miracle Network funds have been able to do to help her in her care, it's critical. It's made a huge difference in her life.
All right. Thank you very much for bearing with me there. And we're still sitting out here with people fishing, talking about some of the good old days in Ultima Online with the Messages in a Bottle, and the upcoming Dragons meet. If you are an Ultima Dragon and you are one of the people who have voted for this late night Dragons meet, please go on to the Facebook page and click the link to get into the Google Hangout, and we will meet here in about an hour once we've journeyed over to Kingsport. I'm going to actually send out a link to all of those folk who actually voted while I'm sitting here. It's kind of getting dark in there. It's midnight right now, so it will be switching over to daylight in, about 10 minutes or so. So we definitely have time. And let's see, we've got so many events going on right now. I want to make sure I get the right people involved. So we've got lots of Ultima Dragons in this list. One of the things we'll probably be talking about during the Dragons Meet is the next Hearth of Britannia event. The Hobloth 3 is going to take place in June, and Rustic will fill us in on some more information there. However, Style has noted that he is now running a store for the caverns. So if you do have any, foam weapons or pieces of your outfit that you need, he does have those available. And if you send him a message, he will offer you a discount as part of the Shroud of the Avatar or Ultima Dragons community. So definitely shoot him a message and order all of your garb that you might need from there. Let's see, we've got... There we go. 8 people that were voting for which time. And it does appear... Yep, they are all on the list for getting in now, so... It's funny how many people will post comments on Facebook about events that you're in that they're not really a part of, which I'm kind of surprised. I don't see anybody that was on that list that's not in the Ultima Dragons, so they should all be able to get in through the Facebook link, and if not, hopefully they let us know. Alright, well, while I'm standing here, I'm going to this up a bit, and I'm going to see if I can get any of my mighty ABC files working so I can play some music. Let's see, what songs do I have here? All of those are Ultima 6 songs. I'm not sure I should be playing those on our stream, but let me verify if I have anything else. Yeah, here's a bunch of them. So those can all stay. that was an Irish medley in ABC, so pretty easy to play here, but you can see how long some of those pieces can go. Let's see what else I have available. Got quite a few of them in format for the piano, not so much for the harp or lute. Let me see if this will actually play. Figure as a brown coat I should at least play that a couple of times, huh? Let's see, we've got a lot of these are really more piano based. Let's try. Not a great version of that song, at least not for the lute anyway. Let's try. And I didn't hear that play at all, so let's try the other one, Piper. Definitely me. course, one of my favorites, Stones from the Ultima series. Before I end this stream, I might actually go ahead and try to sing that, but I'm not very good. Let's see, got a couple more I could try here. Let's do... There's a few good songs in there. Let's see if there's anything else. Let's try... That's not a very good one. Let's try... Tune. Let's go ahead and give this a try and see how badly I do. Alright, here we go. I'm going round the sun. Long ago, round the sun, on a folk who had a dream. My voice is so out of shape. going to head next to the mainland, and then we'll take the boat back over to Kingsport, meet up with some of the Ultima Dragons in the Hearth of Britannia, and we will have a Dragon's Meet for a couple of hours. So during that time, we do have one prize to give away. We're going to stop at midnight to give out a $20 add-on store credit. So definitely tune in there. After that, we will be meeting with as many other people through the night as possible. We don't have a lot going on after the meet. I am going to meet up with Lazarus, and we're going to go to Hometown, where I'm standing right now, and take a look at various houses and do some judging, basically, of what we think is good and what is not. And then we will actually be splitting up again, and I will be kind of on my own for the next few hours. So after the Dragon's Meet is going to run from 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. and then I'll meet with Lazarus from 1 to 2 and kind of go on the Hometown Cribs. That might run a little long depending on how many houses we want to try to get in, because that is a very big area. After that is done, I'm going to try to run through the Grand Tour, which unfortunately I haven't even been able to watch the video for, so I'm going to probably try to do that at some point so we can follow along. And then after the Grand Tour, I don't have anything going on specifically until 5:30 in the morning when I meet up with Royal Suxy and we go on a Explore Novia tour. So that will go from 5:30 to 7:30, and then after 7:30 I'll finish up a couple of outstanding things, and then we'll do some prizes starting at 8 o'clock. So that is the rest of what I have planned. If anybody wants to join me overnight, I am going to be on all night, for at least 2.5 hours. I'm not going to have anything going specific, so I'll just be going from area to area, and I'm going to try to get as many locations in as possible so I can at least show you guys different areas in the game. I'm going to try to encounter the dragon. I might take you guys up and see the Phoenix. I'm not sure what else is things that you might enjoy. So if anybody has any suggestions, you can definitely shoot me a message on Facebook, on Google+. You can jump onto the forums at shroudoftheavatar.com and shoot me a message there, or you can jump in the game and send me a tell. /W Jason Albrecht is the name I'm going under right now, and that will allow you to whisper to me, and I will respond as soon as possible. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the feed right now so that we can restart it and upload this bit that I have, and then we will work on getting over to Kingsport and continuing on. So I will see you guys just a few minutes.